Hi, welcome to She Spice. You all know the circumstances aren't doing great for Diddy in light of the fact that few inside sources are emerging to uncover exactly the way in which awful it is. Everybody realizes what is happening is terrible, yet as per these new reports, it is multiple times more regrettable than we realize. The federal authorities haven't even dropped a fourth of the proof they have against Diddy since they're safeguarding the situation and doing whatever it takes not to tank it as indicated by reports. Diddy and his legal counselors are in alarm mode right now since they realize that he is confronting a lifelong incarceration, and they are going over also passed to tidy up his picture in front of the preliminary in May 2025. So what precisely haven't the federal authorities been telling us? Has Diddy truly been utilizing his children to tidy up his picture? I won't lie. It's wild that there are more asserted violations that we have close to zero familiarity with, particularly on the grounds that the things that we truly do know are wild AAF. Could you at any point envision how terrible the remainder of the data is? And even though Diddy's legal counselors have been attempting to act extreme, like they take care of everything, it's sort of beginning to get clear that they are stressed. The first sign was when Diddy was denied bail 2 times, despite the fact that he presented an extremely delicious bail bundle. Diddy attempted to demonstrate that he wasn't a flight chance by offering $50 million, as indicated by reports. Diddy's legal counselor proposed abandoning these circumstances for a $50 million bond, co-endorsed by Sean Combs, his mom, his mother, his sister, the mother of his most seasoned girl, and his 3 grown-up children. He additionally suggested that the bond would be gotten by the value of Mr. Combs' home situated at 2 West Star Island in Miami, Florida. The evaluated worth of the house is about $48 million. The house is unrestricted in expectation of this bail hearing on August 20, 2024. Mr. Combs took care of the excess home loan of about $18 million, so the home could be utilized to get a bond and be liberated from a home loan. The record proceeded to say that the security would likewise got by the value of Mr. Combs' mom's home, situated at 450 Alton Street in Miami, Florida, and that Mr. Combs' movement will be limited toward the southern region of Florida and the southern region of New York to go to court meet. With his advice and go to clinical arrangements, which we will address to the court in a different fixed accommodation, as well as the eastern locale of New York or the region of New Jersey, just to the degree that his movement to and from New York includes an air terminal in those local. He too presented his little girl's travel papers, including that of the child. However, he was denied bail 2 times, and as indicated by the examiners, they're stressed. He will threaten observers and hinder the case, assuming that he's delivered on bond. Investigators likewise say Diddy has the cash and the necessary resources to be a flight hazard, and the federal authorities say he had what appeared to be in his lodging when he was as captured. And did you all catch the way that the examiners on his case are all white ladies, the remarkable vocation investigators from SCNY who are taking care of this case? Meredith Encourage, Emily Johnson, Chrissy Slavic, Madison Grumpy Person, and Mitty Steiner and their bosses, Jamie Blair and Jason Kelly, are individuals from the Social Equality Unit in our Lawbreaker Division. We made the Social Equality Unit when I became our lawyer. I'm profoundly pleased with their work on this and such countless different cases. Better believe it. Diddy is cooked, and it appears as though he knows it since his attorneys have been playing each stunt in the book, including venturing to guarantee that Diddy has gone to treatment to resolve his issues. His legal counselor said, if it's not too much trouble, hold your judgment until you have the real factors. These are the demonstrations of a blameless man with nothing to stow away, and he anticipates demonstrating his innocence in court. He will battle this with the entirety of his energy, all of his strength, and the full certainty of his legal counselors. He is definitely not an ideal individual. There has been substance use, he has been in poisonous connections, and he has been getting treatment for things that he really wants treatment for. When that didn't work, he chose to assume the part of the extraordinary dad and child, and we've seen his children, and, surprisingly, his mother make announcements for his benefit. They all seem to have composed the actual proclamations. However, we weren't conceived the previous evening, and everybody can tell that the assertions were composed by his attorneys before we get to what his children needed to say. How about we talk regarding his mother's assertion, since Chile It's a great deal, the assertion said. It is disastrous to see my child judged not for reality in any case, for a story made out of misleads. Take the stand. By all accounts, a public lynching of my child before he has had the potential chance to effectively defend himself is an aggravation too terrible to even think about expressing. Watching the world make jokes and chuckle at my child's life disintegrating before our eyes is something I can never always remember. It is genuinely anguishing to watch the world betray my child so rapidly and effectively over falsehoods and confusions without steadily hearing his side or bearing the cost of him, the valuable chance to introduce his side. These untruths tossed at him are propelled by those looking for a monetary profit and not equity. These people perceived how rapidly my child's respectful lawful group settled his ex's claim, so they accept they can get a speedy payday by dishonestly blaming my child. However, that is not all, since she likewise blamed the federal authorities for lying against Diddy and going on a witch chase against him, stripping him of his nobility in the genius cycle. It said bogus charges of say impede genuine survivors of SCV from getting the equity they have the right to exacerbate the situation. The national government is currently utilizing these deceives. Arraign my child. This shamefulness has been unendurable for our family. The most horrendously terrible piece of this trial is watching my cherished child be stripped of his poise, not for what he did, but rather for what individuals decide to understand. With regards to him, better believe it. That assertion was most certainly giving frantic, and that was where fans began to hypothesize what is going on was more serious than we thought, in light of the fact that the assertion clarified that there was a high opportunity that Diddy planned to prison. Yet it doesn't end there, since Diddy's children have delivered not one yet two separate proclamations about the case, and again, it's giving frantic. The primary explanation was the point at which the news released that the federal authorities had returned the examination concerning Kim Watchman's passing, and quite possibly they may be bringing Diddy up on charges, since there were purportedly a few ties between her passing and Diddy. Well, his children with Kim promptly made an announcement that said, "We have seen such countless frightful and misleading tales flowing about our folks I'm Watchman and Sean Cole's relationship, as well as about our mother's sad passing, that we want to stand up claims that our mother composed a book are just false. She didn't. Anybody professing to have an original copy is distorting themselves. Furthermore, kindly figure out that any supposed companion talking for the benefit of our mother or her family isn't a companion, nor do they have her well-being at heart. They proceeded with our lives were broken. When we lost our mom, she was our reality, and nothing has been the same since she passed. While it has been unquestionably challenging to accommodate how should be taken from us too early, the reason for her passing has for some time been laid out. There was no treachery. Sadness is a long-lasting interaction, and that's what we ask everybody regard our solicitation for harmony as we keep on adapting to her misfortune. Consistently, we are profoundly disheartened that the world has made an exhibition of what has been the most lamentable occasion of our lives. Our mom ought to be associated with the lovely, solid, kind, and cherishing lady she was. Her memory ought not be polluted by terrible paranoid ideas. They finished the articulation with, "We inquire that everybody kindly regard our mom Kim Dorman and hold her inheritance in my respect, so she might find happiness in the hereafter. It's what she merits. We love you and miss you. Mom Quincy, Christian, Jesse, and Delilah, his children and mother, have moreover been appearing for him in court. Pray to our Hunter Janice, how are you feeling with me? Your child is a Hunter child. How's he doing? Okay, you got midnight with you. All right, women. Any message you need to send your dad? Any message to your dad? How's your dad? Have you folks addressed your dad? Address your dad. Deal with those young ladies. Quincy, what is it that you need to say regarding your deal with those young ladies?" We believed that the children had said all they needed to say, yet we were off base about that, since they just made another joint announcement that expresses the previous month has crushed our family. Many have made a decision about both him and the U.S. in light of allegations, paranoid ideas, and bogus stories that have spiraled into ridiculousness via virtual entertainment. We stand together, supporting you constantly. We clutch reality, knowing it will win, and nothing will break the strength of our family. We miss you and love you, Father Crisp. It seems Diddy is making them stay at work longer than required for that legacy, and it simply demonstrates there may be a reality to the cases about him confronting a lifelong incarceration. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.